What's up? Barry Bonds. It's the Executive Perspective. And today we're going to be talking about Elon Musk potentially buying MSNBC. What do you know? What do you know? Let me fix my glasses because I'm telling you, man, this type of news right here is very, very astonishing seeing what we just went through this past election cycle and how everyone was treating Trump and Republicans like the redheaded stepchildren of the political game. And now there's talks of Elon Musk possibly purchasing, buying, overtaking, taking over MSNBC. Now, my personal thoughts about this, I'll be honest with you, I love it. It's needed because they have pretty much put out so much misinformation, disinformation, whatever information you want to say. The gaslighting on this network is historic, to say the least. Historic. And of course, we definitely want to be able to start drinking some of those blue tears. Let me take a blue tear drink break. All right. Mm. Oh my God, those blue tears taste so good. I mean, if any of you water companies out there want to do something good, create a new line of water called Blue Tears. Trust me, it's going to sell out in a minute. And you can give me 20% of the proceeds for coming up with this great idea. But look, let's get into this. This is another CNN clip of the delusional libs talking about Elon Musk purchasing or possibly purchasing MSNBC, as well as speaking on uh, Twitter, now called X as well. So, without further ado, let's get into it. And I'm going to add my colorful commentating with it as well. So, yeah, here we go.
So, Carrie, I want to ask you about this idea of media takeover because after Elon Musk purchased Twitter, changed it into X, there's no doubt that he exercised some power there. So, how do you hear this even ingest kind of purchase of a cable network?
Good to be with you tonight.
Good to be with you as
Thanks
well.
for having
Yeah.
me. I think that we should believe everything that is said coming from this administration. I don't think that we have the luxury to dismiss it as him being someone who's being funny or someone who is just being himself or that is his brand. X, and you said in some ways, always. I feel like X, I don't know if anyone is on it in any capacity. I don't know if you're on it. And you're the only one? You're on it? Take a rest of peace because it is not a peaceful place for me. And I know if in
And let me stop it right there because they're talking about X not being a safe or a peaceful place. And it's not a peaceful place only because the former owners of it, when it was called Twitter, you guys were going on there spewing the most craziest rhetoric ever known and seen to man, ever heard to man. Crazy rhetoric. And you guys were going ape shit crazy whenever someone didn't line up with the type of ideology that you all foster. If you didn't use your pronouns, if you said something about a trans person, if you said something about, you know, um, someone doing something stupid, and you guys would always have a gaslighting response as well as some type of victimization trope that you guys would add in as well. You guys made that place a living boredom capital of the world. Seriously, I mean, it's like watching paint dry. It was like watching paint dry. You couldn't say this, couldn't say that. But yet, if you were into porn, you could go to there, you could pretty much get all the porn that you wanted on there. It doesn't make any sense. I mean, you guys totally killed the First Amendment. You know, Second Amendment too. You're trying to get it on there as well. So let's keep going though.
fact you don't agree with this current administration, most people can say that it's not a peaceful place. I wouldn't be surprised if there was an actual bid made to take on MSNBC, but the fact that it just can't happen in real life.
I mean,
It just
it's not
can't.
officially
even
for sale.
Yeah, it's not officially for sale.
The last
It's not
time
even
he mused
realistic.
about maybe buying something,
It's
he
not
ended up
even
doing it.
realistic in real.
Well, let's say this. It's not realistic to you guys, but we're talking about Elon Musk. the richest man in the world. Okay, Elon Musk can put down the what couple billion or whatever to buy this fledgling network, former news network, now just a liberal rhetoric hub that spews all kind of misinformation and gaslighting capital of the world. Yeah, he could buy that easy, and I hope he does buy it. Seriously, because we'll be handing pink slips out to you, and you. All right. Only person we'll save is my guy right here, Scott. Let's keep going.
Real life. But I do believe that media, everyone sitting here at this table, if you don't agree, we're in for some tough years ahead. I do believe that we are not going to be able to be as safe or say what we want to. I don't think free speech is
Okay, now you hear the BS. You hear the gaslighting right now. I don't think we'll be able to be safe to say whatever. No, like I said before, you all made it a space that was unsafe to foster open-minded people, free thought, free speech. You guys like totally just killed it for that. I mean, if you felt like you could go on there and just express your views or whatever, no, they will go back 10, 15 years, grab tweets, and then they would use them against you. Oh, look at this person said this back in 2005. Oh my God. And then they would use it against you. Like, come on, man. Like this is like the delusion that I'm talking about. It's like, lady, are you even listening to yourself right now? And watch this. Watch this. It gets better.
going to be as free.
Now, Scott, I want to bring you in here because this kind of link.
Now, Scott's my guy. Look at Scott. Look at Scott. Scott is looking like, what are they talking about? Scott is like, what are they talking about? Oh my God. Like, did you really just hear her just talk out the corner of her neck? I mean, not the side, but the corner of her neck. My God. Come on, Scott, come with it.
To Orban, we don't pull it from nowhere. There was a former member of the Hungarian parliament who was writing in Politico who kind of talked about this effort by that government and how specific it was in terms of purchasing media specifically for propaganda. Do you hear why they're making that connection?
I mean, is the concern that certain media outlets would become propaganda arms of political ideologies? I mean, don't we already have that in this country at a large scale? I mean, also, I heard what you're saying about X. I saw a survey this week. It's now the most ideologically balanced user platform.
Scott, stop. It's too early. I just sat down. I've only been here for 2 minutes.
That's right. Come on, Scott. Keep cooking.
You cannot say that.
So that's not the case.
So what I find, we reported it on this network.
Now, see, that's what they always do. They always say, Scott, you can't say that. You can't say that. Just 5 seconds after talking about, oh, we're just not as free. Why can't Scott get his ideas off? Why can't Scott cook and get his ideas heard? We need to hear it on this crazy platform. CNN is just, oh man, CNN is just like one of those platforms. It's just like, tell me a lie and I'm going to spread it everywhere, wide and far. That's what that's what they are. That's exactly what they are. It's the gaslighting, the National Gaslighting Association of America spokesperson and sponsor for all gaslighters everywhere. CNN, come and watch us. Let's keep going.
It's not accurate, and you know it.
Okay, I'll let you make your statement.
Scott, but my point is this. Can I reframe it a different way? Because the site changed radically, right? So whether you think the voices it is somehow more balanced now, that's fine. But no doubt Musk's influence is profound, and that you open it up and now you're there with his opinion, and he is now part of this administration. So does anyone else think that there should be this greater concern about?
And then they cut him off. And then they just clean cut him off. He wasn't able to even get his thought out. Wasn't even able to get his full thought out. You cut him off, and now you pose the questions to the other little sassies for Harris over here on the left-hand side. Come on, man. Please, Elon, please. I hope and pray that you buy this network. This is CNN, but we're talking about MSNBC. I hope and pray that you buy this network, hand out pink slips to all of the above, except for my man Scott there. Let him cook. Then bring back Alex Jones and allow him to have a seat and a show. All right. That would be the best thing ever. I would pay to see that. You can make MSNBC a pay site, and I will pay to see that straight up. But you know what? Let's see what they are, what she has to say, what the others have to say.
Billionaires purchasing media companies.
Okay. Would you be worried if Bill Gates controlled MSNBC?
No, because
Because-
he's sane.
Because
Really?
MS
Didn't
in
they- yeah,
MSNBC
it was MS.
comes from Microsoft. It was a partnership between Microsoft and NBC way back in the 1990s, back when Microsoft was under investigation by Bill Clinton's DOJ for monopoly. I don't remember anybody panicking over MSNBC back then.
No, they definitely did. But yeah,
Yeah,
continue.
Interesting. Didn't know that good old Bill Killer Gates was involved with MSNBC. So Microsoft, that's where the MS came from. So I'm pretty sure that the whole platform has changed. The whole perspective of it has changed. It probably was talking about tech and other things, business and other things instead of just politics. So yeah, interesting.
Well, like Fox was
Yeah.
launching, MSNBC was
And it's
launching,
still
the
here.
cable news network was shifting. The landscape.
But
was
isn't
shifting.
the issue that the left has gotten so used to controlling almost all institutional information distribution arms in this country that when one little piece of it, whether it's X or MSNBC or anything else gets taken
No.
away, the panic is so outrageous. I mean, that's how used to the
No,
left is
I
having
think-
control of all of it.
I don't think that that's an accurate assessment.
Yes, I do think that is a very accurate assessment because the left is primarily the party of control freaks. Party of control freaks. They want to control everything. They want to lock up everything. Free thought, free speech, guns, everything. They want to lock up everything so that you can't have any say. And this is indicative of a party that is, I would say, majorly influenced by women, because these are traits that are, indicative of, today's educated woman. They want to be controlling over all things. They feel that they are the magic sauce that makes everything work and everything move. And that's not true. It's not true. We need to be a bit more democratic, diplomatic today, just to make sure that we work together for this whole thing to work. Now, if you look at it, you look at the sides, you look at the Democratic side, you look at the Republican side. Donald Trump was able to bring the people together that probably would not even stand on the same side of the street with each other, share a beer or a meal. And he was able to bring them together. When you went to a Trump rally, trust me, it was like going to a friendly party, going to a party where everybody knew your name. Everybody was welcome. So, you can see this clearly, but the left wants to just control everything. They want to lock everything up. And that's something that, we just can't have these days. We just can't.
When you look at something like Sinclair Broadcasting Group that has purchased most of the local newspapers and local television stations and sends out distributed information that their anchors are supposed to follow for the correspondence, that is a conservative leaning group. I think the difference, though, I'm not siding with Elon Musk at all here. The one thing to point out is that platforms are not regulated right now, which gives them carte blanche to whatever they want right now. Elon is not someone who likes to be regulated. And
Correct.
so to buy MSN, he would go under some federal regulations.
Who's regulating CNN right now?
The FCC.
Now, the only regulations that, they're talking about is free speech. That's what they're talking about. They don't want you putting those other ideas out for people to be able to get a hold of them, especially those who are more left leaning, to get a hold of them and finally come to, to come back to life, to understand that they've been in the cloud. All of this misinformation and all of this scare tactics that they've been, reporting over the past 4 or 5 months, and leading up to this election. Yeah, you don't want these people to wake up and understand that they've been had. That's pretty much, because if that happens, then, it's over for you then. It's definitely over for you then. You guys are coming back into the White House for at least another 15 years or so, if that happens. But let's listen.
See?
We're not a broadcast. It's cable.
I mean,
Listen,
I don't really
cable
think cable stations are under the same regulatory
It
structure
doesn't go over public airwaves.
that
on
broadcast
national
is.
TV, and look at her, the whole face of a whole goofy. Look at her, whole face of a whole goofy. She just got caught out there. Doesn't know what you're talking about. Come on, lady, do your research. Wow, that's wild.
It's
I
definitely
mean,
regulated more than than Facebook and
There's
Twitter.
still what she's
She's
saying is
talking
that there's
about a
still a litmus
platform
test of
like
journalism that
Facebook,
you have to
social
pass. You
media.
can't
That you
come on
don't have
TV
on
and
You
just
can't
make
platforms.
on
conflate the
things,
two.
make up things and say things. That happens on X. Please don't give me the eyebrow furrow as
No,
if you don't know what I'm talking about. It happens often on X. I can go and say the color is blue and I will be met with so many disrespectful remarks. No one's regulating the N-word. No one's regulating the criticism. No one.
Now, this right here is interesting because she's talking about regulations, and I'm like, come on, lady. Seriously, I don't know how many times I've been called a coon, a house nigga, or, you know, step and fetch it, and all of these other names, all of these, just because my ideals about politics are a lot different than those of my kind, or I guess you would say those who share the same hue, the same skin as me. Being put in those positions where you're, you know, ashamed or afraid to speak your mind on, what political views you have and who you're planning to vote for, or, which way you're leaning. Those days are over now. Yeah, we're putting that behind us in the rearview mirror. But you all created that. You all created that. I can't tell you how many times on Facebook, how many people. I remember one day, it was like 20 something people that just unfriended me just because of my political views. You know, calling me all kind of names. You need to get with it and you need to do this. I even had a guy I work with. He, was pulling hard for Kamala. I guess he said he knew her or something like that. I don't know. But, he just kind of, started rattling off all kind of craziness at me, and, started talking about some issues that I had, talked to him about 12 years ago. 12 years ago, asking me, yeah, did you ever get that thing fixed, or you ever get that situation handled? You need to vote for Kamala. What does that have to do with the conversation, sir? What does it have to do? All right. But yeah, man, it got really, really spicy this election cycle. Really crazy. There's people right now that are cutting off relationships with friends and family. So Christmas won't be the same this year. Thanksgiving won't be the same this year. All because of these, okay, ladies like this that want to control everything, think they know everything, think they are the all-knowing. They're not. It isn't. Let's go.
Is regulating how people are
lies.
treated.
How much
or
government
the
regulation
lies.
of the First Amendment are you for?
Let me tell you something. If I came on here and I just started calling you all kind of names, do you think the bosses would let me continue to do that?
I mean, it happens.
Now, let's be honest. Let's be fair and balanced here, because I always try to keep it fair and balanced. I have heard so many times, white folks being referred to as crackers and being referred to in a derogatory way, white men specifically, and nothing has been said. In fact, they just pretty much overlooked it as if it never happened. If we're going to keep everything fair and balanced, we have to be fair and balanced across the board. All right, across the board. It can't be one-sided racism and all that. It can't be that. Let's end that. Let's get away from that.
I
To me
mean,
occasionally. I don't know if you
well,
watch
it
the
doesn't
show.
happen to you, but it doesn't
But it
happen
does
for me.
happen.
And I know that I wouldn't be able to do that. There's a level of professionalism in what we do here, because we are journalists and we adhere to something, at least morally. And there is no moral compass on this thing called.
You're also having a conversation about a person who has the ear of the White House in a very profound way. And you have had the former president, the president-elect, talking about yanking licenses, right? As part of the broader Republican
If you
argument
disagree.
Yes.
that there is censorship and therefore people need to be punished for that censorship. Chuck?
And I was thinking about what X, former Twitter, the artist formerly known as Twitter, was like before. And to my sister's point is like before Elon bought it, good and bad. There was a lot of things there.
Sure.
My wife refuses to go on it. She says it's a cesspool, and she's mad that I'm even still on it. She's got
Accurate.
more sense than I'll ever have, and I'll tell everybody that. But I know when I open up the platform now, the first tweet I see is
Is
Elon
Elon.
Musk, no matter if I
The
like it or
very
if
Okay, so this guy right here, I guess he's a sassy for Harris, you know. The whole mantra of happy wife, happy life, that's over. That's done. We're getting rid of that as well. That's out of here. Way out of here. All right. So men, you need to stop deprecating yourself because seriously, it's getting old. It's getting tired. It used to be one of the things we'd be able to laugh about, tongue-in-cheek humor or whatever. But now, no, we're not doing that shit no more. No. All right. No. Because people have devalued us. Uh, you know, they pretty much reduced the level, they've reduced the role of men greatly in the past 10 to 15 years. And it's because of us. It's because of us, and we need to stop doing that. So we're not doing that self-deprecation. We're not doing none of that going into the next 4 years. None of that. That's done. All right. So if you think your wife is smarter than you, then you know what? That's your fault. Go read a book. Go do something.
I
Very
don't
first
like it.
one.
Yeah.
The very first one all the
Whether you
time.
follow him or not. The other,
So
So,
So-
what? He bought
Yeah.
it.
So
No,
You're making my point.
yes. So because it's the man's platform. And I believe that, a lot of this is on algorithm because I'm pretty sure his tweet is going to get many more millions of views, retweets, uh, and all of the like, more engagement than any of you on there combined times 15. So, yes, I'm pretty sure you're going to see his tweet as the first one that you see on there. All right. So learn a little something about social media.
It
Right.
absolutely
We're
did.
not- we're
That's
not
what's happening on
saying he doesn't-
MSNBC. And he don't like me, so I probably won't be on there no more. So I'm
I
mad.
also think that Twitter has fake computer
yeah, it's
generated
bots.
things.
It's
bots.
absolutely.
So it's a little like, well, I don't think anybody. Are you real? Like, can I put? Are you a hologram
Don't
of
get his
yourself?
face.
You know, I didn't touch him, everyone. But like,
Yeah.
are you a
I mean,
hologram of
I
yourself?
think part of it is like, I feel like on the one hand, oh, this is really navel gazing. Should we be talking about it? On the other hand, it was so clear that the movement and shift in tone and ideas of what was happening during the campaigns were very much affected by social media, right?
Sure.
When
When you
Kamala
ask
Harris
people in
entered
focus
the
groups,
race,
where they get
and
their
it was like
right.
TikTok said she was a thing.
Yeah,
What-
TikTok is literally the source of information
Yeah.
for millions of people, and
Everybody
that
under
is very
35.
And
that's very scary and misinformation. And so, if in fact someone like Elon Musk had any sort of
Okay, so you know what? I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna let this one go because this is just going on and on. The source of misinformation for this election cycle this year, and I hate to just sound like a broken record, it just sounds so biased or whatever, but it just came from the left the whole time. I mean, I can't believe how many times I've heard Trump in his 2025 Project 2025 when he made multiple statements saying that I am not aligned with 2025, Project 2025. I have Agenda 47 so many times, even dating back to his previous stint in the White House when he said that there were fine people on both sides. You guys just took that and just ran to the moon with it. Come on, man. Seriously, we need to stop, just gaslighting. And these are just traits. And I hate to say it and sound like I guess you would say a misogynist or whatever, but these are traits of women. This is what women do. Misog I don't want to don't label me that. Okay. But I'm just stating the obvious. This is what when these are the tactics that women do right here that they play. They play the whole gaslighting game, the nice, nasty game, and they mix words, and that's not cool. So I'm gonna end this one here. It got a little bit longer than I expected it, but as you can hear, you can see where the misinformation and gaslighting is coming from. But I see my guy Scott. I'm glad to see he's a little bit more, super laid back now, more confident. Hey, we got this in the bag. We won this. So, and we got the House and the Senate. So we're about to do our thing for the next 4 years. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? You guys buckle up. It's about to be a great ride. Let's see after a couple of years if they're still complaining about low gas prices, low rent, low grocery prices. I mean, let's see if they complain about that. All right. So, hey, you know where to find me. I'm also on X as well, the Black Republicans. That's my group. And you can find us on Facebook as well, Black Republicans. Come check us out, join the group, interact. Come on, let's continue to do the outreach because we got to inform people because you see this. It's a whole bunch of this on here, telling people and leading people the wrong way. So it is what it is, man. My name is Barry Bonds, as you know. Hey, this is my new motto. If the truth pisses you off, allow me to do the honors. All right. So I'll check you guys out later. Peace.